Welcome to Selenium with C Hash Training Session 6. In this session, you can learn what are the different operations user can perform on drop-down menu or select box. So what is drop-down? So in the web page, whenever you are navigating, you will find some sort of drop-down where you can select one, or sometimes you can select multiples, sometimes you can unselect multiple, sometimes you can select only one, right? So these are the kind of drop down fields. So if I open the web page, right, ready register login page, okay, so you could say there are a lot of drop down field is there, right? One is the mobile number drop down field, one is country, day, month, year for the date of birth, city, country. These are the drop down field, right? So by default one value will be selected, but sometimes you can only select one drop down. In some of the drop down, it is possible to select multiple drop down at the same time. In case there is a provision to select multiple drop down options, right, there is a provision called deselect everything at the same time, as well as we can get the different list of drop down values, right? So these are the different operations, operations we can perform on the drop down box or select box. So drop down is a method of showing a large list of choices, but only one choice is displayed initially until the user select or click on the drop down. A drop down can be used to select between choices in the form. Selenium already provides SelectElement class that has some predefined method for handling drop down, which helps a lot working with drop down menu with C hash. But for Java, it will be only select class. But for C# or C hash, if you want to work with Selenium WebDriver, so you have to use SelectElement class. To handle drop-down and multi-select list in Selenium, user can use the following types of SelectElement method. So whatever method I have written here, right, everything will come from the SelectElement class. So first you need to create a variable for the SelectElement class. After that, once you use that options or variable, you can get the list of method. So there are around 9 list of methods available, which we will be using more in the SelectElement class. So in case you want to select the option, right, you can use SelectByText method, SelectByIndex, SelectByValue. So SelectByText method will select an option by using the text displayed on the screen, displayed on the element. Whereas SelectByIndex method will select an option based on the index of the element, and SelectByValue method will select an option based on the value of the element. Similarly, for the deselecting the method, in case of something has been selected and user can in the system can provide the option to deselect it, right? So you can use these 4 options. One is deselect by text, deselect by index, deselect by value, and deselect all, which will deselect all previously selected options. Apart from that, there are 2 other methods available in the SelectElement class. One is the option method, through which we can get list of all options of the select element. And the next one is isMultiple method, through which we can check whether the element supports multiple selection or not. Right? In case multiple selection is, we can do it or not for that particular element, for the select box or drop down field, right? So this is the syntax. So we can create a variable for that element. Then with the help of select element, we can create a variable again with the help of new SelectElement class. And then with those variable, whatever we are creating with the SelectElement class, we can use SelectByValue, SelectByIndex, SelectByText, DeselectByText, DeselectByIndex, DeselectByValue, or deselect all, as well as we can check whether it is multiple and the list of options from the drop down value. Okay, so now check. Now we can see with the real time experience, right, how we can do different operation for a particular select drop down, which is drop down box or select box, right? So you can see here, this is the country drop down, right? So here a lot of country will be available. I can select only one country at the same time. Multiple country will not allow here, but some of the drop down field can allow multiple selections. So for that thing, you can use deselect if you want to deselect everything, and again after that, if you want to, you can select it, right? So you can see here the country will be there. So in first we need to open, let's go to the Visual Studio. So I have already in the main function, so I already written the steps for launching the browsers, maximize the browser and navigating to the URL, which is nothing the same URL, right? Then I can inspect the country element, right, first. So let's press F12 button and let's see what are the properties having for the country field, right, drop down field. So you can see this is the select. So how you can easily understand that there is a selection box or drop down box. So that particular field tag name will start with select. So that is the reason select element class we can use it. Okay. So you could see here the ID is country. So I can identify the element with the country ID, right. So here I will create a web element, so which is nothing but the I web element. Okay. So country drop down, that is the variable, and I can create the variable with the help of driver.find element by dot method. I will inspect the element, find element by dot id or name, whatever is there, right? It is the id will country. So I will be identifying the element with the help of id, which is country. So once the element is identified, then I will be creating an object or instance for the select element class, right, through which we can do the selections for the drop down field or the select box using Selenium WebDriver and C#, right. So I will be using select element, you can see select element, and I will be creating country list, okay, equal to new and select element, and here I need to provide the reference of that element, whatever I have identified with the help of country ID. Okay, so that part is done. So now that variable is there. Now if we use the variable, I will get all the methods available in the select element class. You can see deselect all, deselect by index, deselect by text, deselect by, right, all the thing will get. Options is multiple, right. So you can check whether it is multiple or not, right. So first I will check select by index, okay. Then here I can provide the index. So what is the index? So index will start from 0, right, in case there is a drop down, right. So this is the drop down for the country. So index will start from 0. So India is the 0th index, then American Samoa is the first index, Andorra is the second, third one is the Angola, right. So if you give the index as 3, so it will select Angola, right. So here it will select Angola, okay. So that you can select it with the index. So index will start from 0 and then it will go the element, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, how many element is there. In case size is n, so it will go from 0 to n minus 1, okay. So that is the index. Then I can select, right, first index is done, I can select with text dot select by text. So what will be the text? So here if you select all the option, right, this is the text and this is the value for each and every options, right. You can see all the options will be there. So for each and every option there will be value and there will be text, but index will be starting from 0 and it will be go till n minus 1 in case size is n, right. So suppose I want to select by value equal to, by text equal to India, so I can select it. So here I can give the text equal to India, so it will select India, okay. The next is I can select with the help of country list dot select by value, right. So what value I can give it? I can give the value as, so whatever value, suppose say I want to select American Samoa, so I can give the value as 3, so it will select American Samoa, okay. So let's save the code and let's see any error message is there or not. So one error message is showing. So what is the error message? By dot id contains a definition. I think I should be caps. message gone. Okay. So there is no error message now, no issue found. So with the help of select element class, we can call select by index, select by value, and select by text. So if you want to see that happening or not, it happening or not, you can wait for some time. Thread.sleep. I can wait for 4 seconds here. I can wait 4 seconds so that all the actions will we can do after every 4 seconds. So first it will open the page, it will identify the country with the help of id equal to country, then it will store in the country of drop down element. After that it will create a variable with the help of select class, and if we call that variable, then we can get all the methods available in the select class. So I can select it by the index, so it will select Angola, then I will select by text after 4 seconds waiting with text as India, then I will select by value after a 4 seconds waiting, which is so value 3 equal to nothing but the American Samoa, and then I can check other one, whether it's multiple method, whether that particular drop down is supports the multiple selection or not. So here I can check it, so for that one I can take the variable and I can go with the console, I can print it out, so it will give me true or false, console dot write line, here I can give the variable not dot is multiple. So are we able to select is multiple or not? So here it will give me false, because only once we can select at the same time, not multiple. But in case some of the website there is a provision for selecting multiple, so it will give you the true result, so multiple selection is possible. Now let's try to run the code and let's see whether the page is opening and select by index, select by text, select by value is happening after waiting for 3-4 seconds every time, and it is giving you the false result in the console. So it will try to launch the browser first. Once the browser is launched, it will maximize the browser, it will load the page fully. After that it will identify the element and it will select all the 3 options one by one. First one is select by index, then select by visible text, then select by value. So you can see the different selection in the UI. So first it will select from the country drop down Angola, it will wait for 4 seconds, it will go by the text, then India. You can select India is selecting from the country drop down, and then it will wait for 4 seconds, it will select by value. So value 3 equal to American Samoa. So you can see the selection is happening properly from the country drop down, and in the console you can get that result as false, because is multiple. So for the particular drop down, multiple selection is not possible, only you can select only one at a time. So that is the reason is multiple is giving you false result. Now next one, and in case you are finding some other web page where there is a provision for selecting multiple options, so it will select all the options one by one. After that, if you want to deselect rem, so you can deselect by text, deselect by index, deselect by value, and deselect all. So here it will be same thing, instead of select by index, it will be deselect by index, and you can give the index number, you can give the text value, you can give the value, whenever you want to deselect it. And suppose in case you already selected 5 items from the 10th item, and if you want to deselect everything, so you can use deselect all method. The last one I'll showcase, so what is the importance of options method. So with the help of options methods available in select class in Selenium WebDriver with C#, we can get the list of all options of the selected element for a particular select element, So how can you do that? So we already identify the element, we already created a variable for the select class for that element. Then after that, what we will do? We will be creating a I list, So it will be I list and here I can give that IOAB element, or before that you can use that variable, right, and you can call that method dot options. Okay, you can see here what is the return type. Return type is that you can see it is coming from select class, right, select element class. Return type is list IOAB element, so it will be stored list of values which will be as in the form of IOAB element. Okay, so that's why I can store them. Okay, so it will be return type will be list, and here it will be IOAB element, IOAB element, and here I need to give the variable name, right? So what is the variable name? Country options. So that's why I can declare the variable name. Okay, so I already imported that different part, right? One is coming from system, one is coming from collection generic, right, link, so that otherwise it will give you some error. You need to import using system.link, system.collection framework, all this stuff, right? So I already created a variable. Then if you want to get the size, total size, right, so you can store in some variable, integer total option, right, size, total or total country list, total country. It will give you the integer value. How can you get it? So you can get that one, that variable dot count. Okay, with that you can get the total number of count, how many things is there, right? After that, if you want to print it out, right, so you can print it, right, so that you need to call console dot write line, and you can print the variable, the total country list. So it will give you how many country option is there for the drop down, country drop down, right? Then next is, if you want to, right, if you want to print all the list of country, then you can simply use an for loop, right? So here I'll be using a for loop. For I can give integer I variable equal to 0, then colon I less than, what is this? It will go total country list, right? So you can see here it is perfectly fine. Integer I equal to starting from 0, then I, so it is starting from 0, so it will go till the size minus 1, right? Sorry, that is the total country list minus 1, so it will go till less than that, and I plus plus. Then it's a for loop, so I need to use a second bracket here. Okay, then I will be getting the value. How can I get the value? So what is the variable name? The variable name is my country option, right? This is my variable name, right? So if I get the variable name, after that, as I am iterating the for loop, right? So I require element add, right? Every time. So element add, here I can give the I and I can give the click. Element add, you can already got the suggestion, right? For every I will be getting the text, dot text. Okay. So you can see the return type is string, right? So I need to store in some string. Okay. So here I will be storing in some string value, country values. Okay, then I can print them, right? So here I can simply print them for the for loop. So here what is the variable? This is my variable, so I can print them. So that's why I can get the list of value as well as the total number, right? How many number is there? So it will print me that number, right? And this is the list of value I can print with the help of for loop. So I will be going to the URL, I am identifying that particular element, I am storing in some variable, and with the help of select class for that particular variable I am creating a variable again for the select class. Then with that particular variable I am calling that options methods available in the select element class, right? And I am storing in some variable which, so it will give me lot of options, so I am storing in I list, and the variable type will be the I web element, right? After that I am getting the total number of count, and I can print the number of count, and I already know the number of count, so I will use a for loop where I will start with 0 till the count minus 1. So that is the reason I have given the condition, and whatever for every iteration I write, I will get the text, and I am printing it in my console. So that's why I can get the list of value, right, available in the drop down. So let's try to run the code, and let's see whether it is giving me total number of size, how many countries available, as well as the list of country, right? So those I can get it in my console. Page is opening, right? It will identify the country, okay, and it will take how many country option is there from the country drop down, and it will print all the value one by one. It might take some time because it will print all the value, okay, and in the console you can get everything. So let's close it, and let's see in the console everything is there or not. You can see all the value is printed out, right? Total from India, and you can see total number of sites is 248. So 248 total countries available. It is and here with the help of options, right, it can be printed out all the value. It will be printed how many country option is there. So that's why with the help of that options method you can get to know how many drop down value option is there, and you can print out everything, right? So that are the different operations you can perform. So you can select by text, select by index, select by value, and in case selection is possible multiple times, more than one option, you can deselect by text, deselect by index, deselect by value, and deselect by all method, right? And if you want to check whether that multiple selection is possible, you can use is multiple method. And if you want to get how many options is there, as well as the options, right, if you want to print the options, right, so you can use options methods, which is available in the select element class in the Selenium WebDriver which C has. Okay, so that's all from today's session. Thank you.